I have heard stories of customers saying, I knocked on her door for 30 minutes and she did not open up. And I said, well, what happened? Oh, yeah, she said she was so tired from the night before, she was asleep. Hey guys, it's me again, Ana Briones, your master lash artist with the Lash Supply. We are here in our channel, The Lash Life. Today we are going to be talking about a topic that everybody wants to know, okay? Can you work from home as a lash artist? Okay, let's talk about that. I know that it can get a little confusing sometimes. And you want to know, can I? I mean, somebody told me this, somebody told me that. Well, we're going to go ahead and give you the facts, okay? So, can you work from home? Yes, you can. But it depends on your state and, of course, the laws in your state. I'm in Texas, so I'm going to give you a little information about working from home in Texas, okay? So, in Texas, in order to actually sell your service as a lash extension artist, you do need a license, okay? There are 3 different types of licenses that you can get to do lash extensions. You can be a cosmetologist and do lash extensions. You can be an esthetician and do lash extensions. Or they have something here in Texas called the Lash Extension Specialty License, which just focuses on lash extensions, okay? So you can work from home. Number 1, you need the license, okay? If you are an esthetician or a cosmetologist, I also suggest getting certified, getting certification from a reputable company. That also looks very, very good on you. It's not necessary, but that extra training obviously will set you apart, okay? There are some requirements when you work from home, okay? So if you work from home, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, again, I'm in Texas, number 1 requires you to have your license, whether it's cosmetology, esthetician, or lash extension specialty. And they require you to license your facility, whether it's at home, a studio, a salon, whatever it is, you have to get it licensed. How do you get it licensed? You have to contact them after you have one of your licenses as a cosmetologist, esthetician, or lash extension specialty and apply for your salon license, okay? So your home does count as a salon license. You would just get a lash extension specialty salon license. Once you have received your licenses, they will come out for inspection, okay? If they don't come out that week, it might be the following week, it might be the next month, it might be by the end of the year, but they're gonna come and inspect your facility. There are some requirements that you have to meet in order for you to lash at home, okay? You have to have that license, you have to have it registered with the state, and they will come and see if your home-based studio has a separate entrance. You have to have a separate entrance. You cannot lash out of your, I don't know, grandma's bedroom or your living room or your den or whatever the case. It has to be a separate entrance from your home. So that same entrance that you use all the time to go into your home, that cannot be customer entrance, okay? It has to have a separate entrance only for customers, and it has to have hot and cold running water, and it has to be accessible to you, okay? Because then how are you washing your tools? You're not gonna run into your bathroom where you and your whole family or your guest use those facilities. It has to be a separate restroom, sink with running cold or hot water, okay? You need a separate restroom. Now, most of the time, whenever you are lashing from home, I usually make recommendations. For example, if you're doing really great at home, but you're like, I really want to get it licensed, I would start maybe in your garage, okay? Your garage usually has a side entrance So you can actually use that as a separate entrance, okay? I have seen where some people just kind of drywall around that entrance and make themselves like a small area where they lash. And then sometimes those walls in the back or on the side have access to plumbing. So you can actually have someone come in and maybe make you a small little restroom, running water and toilet. Or you can also get a portable sink. There are some portable sinks that they do sell that have cold and hot running water, okay? You need to be very careful with the portable sinks because not all portable sinks come with hot and or cold running water. Most of them is just cold water, and Texas Department of Licensing requires you to have cold and hot running, okay? So those are some of the things that you do need. Of course, if you would go to the Texas Department of Licensing Rules and Regulations book, there's a book that you also have to keep at your salon, whether you're home-based or not. It has all the rules in there, okay? That way there's no confusion and you understand exactly what you need to keep in your salon. In an actual lash salon, you need a lash bed that the customer can lay completely flat on. It also states in that book that you need a stool or chair and that you need a light, okay? And of course, all salons need a dirty linens basket as well. So if you are keeping blankets or towels or anything like that, you also need that dirty linens basket, okay? So make sure that the space that you're in has those things. I know someone that turned their den into a salon, and they just cut off the entrance into their home. They had a side door in that den, so it worked out fine. Same thing with, like I said, a garage. A lot of people work out of their garage. A back room with a separate entrance, they just turned that completely into salon. And then if you have another entrance, let's say from the garage to the home, you just need to keep that door locked during business hours, okay? Pretty easy stuff. If you can meet most of those requirements, you know, if you need plumbing, of course, or a sink with cold and hot running water, that's something a little bit, you know, that's going to take a little more money or, you know, a little more to do on your list, pretty much, right? You're going to have a little more on your list to do than you would regularly if you just needed to meet all the other requirements. But most importantly, that main door has to be a separate entrance, have to have a bathroom, have to have those tools that I said, like the bed, the, you know, dirty linens basket, the chair, and the light. Sure that you are meeting those requirements. Aside from those requirements, guys, please, please, please keep it professional. I know that you're working from home and your kids are at home or your pets are at home or something like that, but you have to keep it professional, okay? I worked from home for a little while. It was really difficult, especially when kids were home, because you're still trying to keep that space pretty professional and your customer is relaxing, her eyes are closed and she's dozing off, and then your kids start screaming and it's a crazy house, right? And you're like, oh my God. So then I would run out and I'm like, y'all better be quiet, you know, like, y'all, and they would be like really quiet. But you have to keep it professional. Just because it's your home does not mean that the customer wants to experience everything in your home with you, okay? If you have pets, keep them out of your professional area. Not everyone likes pets. I love pets, but if I'm lashing at home, I'm not gonna bring my pets in. Just because you love dogs or you love cats or hamsters or whatever the case doesn't mean that your customers do, okay? Some people get grossed out by that. Now, I have heard so many stories from other customers that come see me, and you know, just because it's your home, you have to treat people professional. I had someone tell me I was getting lashed in someone's living room and her cat jumped on my chest while I was getting lashed, and it scared the crap out of me. And I was like, Jesus, what? The cat did what? And I'm like, that would have scared me too, right? And the girl, instead of saying, I'm so sorry, let me get this cat out of here, blah, 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 she said, oh, it's just my cat, don't worry. And she's like, I was so uncomfortable the entire time. And that's why I did not go back, okay? So just because you love your pet does not mean that everyone else does. Plus, it's against TDLR rules here in the state of Texas to have any pets in the salon area unless they are a service animal for your client, okay? So please, please, please keep your pets out of your salon area. It's not hygienic, and your customers don't want them climbing all over them, okay? Now, I have also heard other stories where, you know, lash artists are lashing in their living rooms or lashing in their dining rooms near a main entrance to the home, and people walk in their house. Mind you, these clients are laying down, they have their eyes closed, they're relaxed, thinking that, you know, they're gonna have a really nice nap. There's nobody there with them, just, you know, it's just you and the lash tech. And then all of a sudden, the lash tech has visitors, and they're sitting on the couch having conversations while you're getting lashed. That's not professional, guys. Don't do that. That's not okay. Unless I guess you're lashing a family member that's okay with that situation, I would not do that for regular customers. It's uncomfortable to lay there and have an audience, okay? Do you want somebody to watch you while you're sleeping? No, neither do your clients. So keep it professional, okay? Also, if you're lashing in a professional studio and lets clients, and for some reason you have an emergency or you have to cancel, you're gonna reach out to them, right? And say, hey, very last minute, had an emergency, have to cancel. You know, sorry, I will reschedule you. Maybe I'll give you a discount, whatever the case. Just because you're lashing from home, it's no different. You cannot leave people hanging. I have heard stories of customers saying, I knocked on her door for 30 minutes and she did not open up. She did not cancel my appointment. She did not give me a heads up. I was there for my appointment. She just never opened the door. And I said, well, what happened? Oh, yeah, she said she was so tired from the night before. She was asleep. So she was asleep the entire time inside her home while her customer was knocking for her appointment, right? Treat your home business as a professional lash studio. You cannot cut corners, especially if you are working from home, to go that extra mile to make sure that everything is nice, clean, deodorized, disinfected, everything's in its place so people feel comfortable. Do you ever go to someone's house and feel uncomfortable because it's not your space? That's how people feel when they come to your lash studio and it's in your home. They feel a little out of place, like they don't know where to sit. They don't know if they can sit on this. They don't know if they could sit on that. And so you have to make it very nice, welcoming, and comfortable. You know, don't have a cluttered room. Have very basic. Make sure that you have your necessities. Make sure that it's nice and clean. Of course, make sure that you disinfect after each and every single customer. Again, I've heard stories about home-based businesses. And this is not just home-based businesses. I've heard stories about regular, you know, studios where one after another, it's like, oh, you're done, but there's somebody over here. Sit down, go ahead, lay down on somebody else's filth. Like that. You have to make sure that you absolutely disinfect after each customer and that you're welcoming everybody, that your pets are not jumping on anybody, and sure that you keep it extra professional, especially when you're lashing from home. Because if someone goes to your home and they feel out of place, uncomfortable because you have an audience in your living room talking to you, having drinks, smoking, whatever it is that you're doing, it's like, this is not the place for me. I got to go, right? And then they come to a studio like mine because, you know, they don't want to be at your home where you're not keeping it professional. So it's okay to lash from home. Just make sure that you're doing everything in your power to keep it nice, clean, disinfected, and it's a good environment for your customers, and they will continue to come back. So, can you work from home in Texas? Again, yes, you can. Check with your state to see if the rules apply there as well. I know there are a few states, maybe 6 or 7 only in the US, where you don't need a license. I believe a certificate is enough. So again, the laws change with each state. Take a look at that. See, like I said, if the rules apply like they do here in Texas. And I mean, make it a business. Make it a business, make money, and make sure that you keep it professional. And you can definitely lash from home. So to prevent any unlawful, consequences, check with your state. Happy lashing.